objective is to capture and defend territories to score.
Hey guys, it's Nicky, and welcome back. This is some more Assassin's Creed 3 Domination. We're going to be playing as the Beavers today, running smoke bomb disguise and throwing knives. I like to pop my disguise, discreetly walk into the territory and start taking it before dropping a smoke bomb and rearranging some faces. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing in a second, but today we're not talking about the gameplay as much as we are talking about filmmaking horror stories. Now if you guys don't know, I'm actually a filmmaker. Not a professional or anything like that, but I do have a little bit of experience. I'd say I'm at least decent at it. I have experience in a lot of the aspects of making a film, from writing, producing, doing the lighting, holding the camera, editing, all that stuff. And I've worked on, I'd say 4 different crews in my life, actually 5. There have been 2 of them that I've liked, and 3 of them that have driven me absolutely insane. And let's see how many of those I can talk about in this domination commentary today. So this is some more Nicky story time. No idea why that guy killed the NPC, but I'm gonna get an incog on him. So, first off, the crews that I do like, well, they consist mainly of my friends, and these are people I actually know who have no filmmaking experience whatsoever. They haven't taken classes. I'll basically hand them the camera, teach them how to use it, tell them what to do, and those are the most fun to work on, not just because they're my friends, but because they can follow instructions and they know to take the camera lens off the front of the camera. You don't know how many people don't know that simple step. It's happened way too many times. But those are the crews I kind of like to work on the best, where I just pick some friends, go ahead, they act, and it's hilarious. I've also had another film crew where I've had to work, actually it wasn't really a crew, it was me and one other guy, where we had to do this news report, you know, those little segments that they have on the news that are about a minute, 2 minutes long. Did one of those with him, picked the dude, that was a lot of fun. Now, the only crews that I really enjoy working on are where I actually have to pick people. Like I picked my news report partner, and I picked my friends. The larger crews are crews you can't pick for when you're producing something like a documentary or a short film. Those consist of 20, 30 people, that's like my entire class. And at that point, I have no idea why that guy was just running face first into the wall, so he's gonna get a fist to the back of his neck. But anyway, the crews that consist of more than a dozen people are where it starts to get really messy. So, like I said earlier, my friends can follow instructions, they can take the camera lens off. At this point, the number of incompetent people when you're producing a video with 20, 30 people starts to outweigh the number of people who know what they're doing. So, one thing that happened to me was I had to make a short film, I had to write a story, and my screenplay was unfortunately rejected because it involved needing a seagull wrangler on set, and I'm not going to quite explain why, because that was an amazing idea and I don't want anyone taking it. But there was another group writing a story, and they wrote this story about a talking rock, which wasn't very original. Basically, the premise of the movie was there was a boy who befriended a talking rock because he had no other friends, then someone stole the rock, and then he got the rock back. The end. Very, very generic, boring story. No one liked it at all, except the one dude who wrote it. And since there were only 2 stories written in the class, and we couldn't get a seagull wrangler, that's what we went with. And the seagull wrangler wasn't really necessary. We just needed some bread. Put some bread on the floor. Here in California, seagulls are everywhere. That's all I needed for one scene. Besides the point. Okay, we're working on this story, and this crew in particular was 20 people approximately, and the majority of them were freshmen in high school. So I was a senior at the time. The teacher put me in as producer, which is head of the project if you didn't know, and I was basically in charge of all these people, had to tell them what to do. The freshmen were production assistants and cameramen and worked the boom mic and stuff like that. And for the first week, it was incredibly stressful, and I'm not a very stressed out person. I don't have that mentality. I'm usually super chill. But there was so much yelling, so much get back on your marks, hold the boom mic out of the shot, turn the camera on and take the lens off. It was such a headache for the first week, and just that 1 week of working with 15 or so freshmen made me incapable of getting mad at people, I'm pretty sure, because after that week I had to spend another 2 months filming this stupid short film, and I just had no capacity to yell at them. Just like, yeah, the camera people aren't going to do what I say, so why even say it in the first place? And the camera people were actually the worst. What would happen is I had to film during a lunch period, because there were 2 lunch periods in my school. You got one of them, and I was at the earlier lunch period. So what would happen is we'd start filming, the cameraman would set up and he said, you know what, I quit, just out of nowhere. And then he'd leave, go get lunch, come back and like, hey, can I have my job back? And he probably did that 10 times or something insane like that. And eventually I was like, no, you can't have your job back. I'll be the cameraman. So I started doing camera work and all that stuff, and he goes up to the teacher, who's the executive producer, and says, "Hey, Nicky fired me and won't give me my job back, and I wasn't doing anything wrong." And I'm like, "You quit several times." Meanwhile, the boom mic operator was holding the rock, because remember, this was a talking rock movie. He was holding our actor, who was an actual rock. I'm not talking about a guy in a rock costume. I'm talking about we had an actual rock, and we were going to use Adobe After Effects to stick eyes and a mouth on the rock. Anyway, our boom mic guy was holding the rock one day, and he decided to throw him on the ground as hard as he could, and the rock broke. And the teacher was really particular about getting a rock that looked exactly like it, so we had to glue the thing back together. He broke a rock. One of the freshmen broke a rock. How is that? How does that even happen? I'll tell you how it happens, because he threw it on the ground as hard as he could. There was probably no one on that set who had any idea what they were doing, save for one of the actresses. She was a freshman, but she knew what she was doing, so she was pretty cool. Other than that, there was the director, who was one of my friends. He kind of helped me keep things together. Other than that, I was working with 15 or 20 people, who drove me insane. Anyway, I have 2 more horror stories about filmmaking that I could actually tell that are very ranty. I hope it's not super annoying how ranty they are, but the gameplay is over. This was a short domination game with 8,300 points scored by me. I could have easily landed a 20,000 point game here, but it ended early because we were dominating, so we had over 4 minutes left on the clock. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoy Assassin's Creed 3, if you enjoy Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which is coming out soon, I'll be posting content on that. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, leave the video a like and a comment if you want to hear some more story time. And thank you guys for watching once again. 2 of my older videos are going to pop up on the screen in a second. If you want to check the description for my Twitter, my Tumblr, and my Facebook to keep in touch, then go ahead and do that. I've been Nicky from Stell Shampoo, and I will see you all some other time.